In this frame house under construction, the customer invited us to make our insulation, monolithic foam concrete, a floor screed along the ground with insulation. All the necessary communications are laid immediately. They will hide in the thickness of the foam concrete. The thickness of D200 grade foam concrete will be approximately 30 centimeters, up to the upper level of the reinforced concrete foundation. Further, on the dried foam concrete, the owner plans to put a water-heated floor and make a screed. And on top, tiles and parquet as the finishing of the floor. As a hydro barrier, ordinary plastic film. It is laid directly on the ground, on the clay. This house has a 70 centimeters base. A layer of clay, 40 centimeters, is poured to the required level. For the remaining height of 30 centimeters we fill it with our insulation, foam concrete of the D200 brand. The advantage of our foam concrete is that it contains more bubbles. In ordinary foam concrete, air bubbles are quite large. This means that there are not many of them per cubic centimeter. And in our foam concrete of the same brand, the bubbles are smaller, and there are much more of them. And the more air bubbles there are in the material, the warmer it is. Draw your own conclusion. With the same price of ordinary cellular monolithic foam concrete and ours, which we produce with our patented equipment and using a special formula, you get a different result of insulation. The secret of the success of our small cell monolithic foam concrete is both in the formula for its manufacture, in the components and proportions used, and in the special patented equipment that allows you to achieve such a high result. If you are seriously engaged in green building, then contact us regarding the purchase of equipment and technologies. At your request, we will manufacture equipment of the required performance, train you in the technological process, accompany, advise, and supply all the necessary consumables. Our protein-based foaming agent produces a dense, dry foam. But by itself, the foam settles and seems to melt. And in the composition of foam concrete, due to high-grade cement of very fine grinding and without impurities, as well as due to other constituent components of the formula, this protein foam mineralizes rather quickly and does not settle anymore. And after drying, the foam concrete turns into a warm, porous and light stone. After the polyethylene film is laid on the ground, on clay, as a hydro barrier, the process of pouring monolithic foam concrete as a heat insulation and a rough screed on the ground can be started. 2 in 1 at once. In the process of pouring foam concrete, we immediately align it in heights, which in this example is a stretched cord. This is how the finished section of the insulated floor looks like on the ground. After the foam concrete has dried, a 5 cm screed will be made on top of it and the foundation, as planned by the owner of this house, in which a water-heated floor is provided. The next day we can see a good result. Of course, cats walked around here at night and left their traces, but now dried foam concrete can already withstand a person. Although it is too early to walk on foam concrete. If you put your palm on an already hardened surface and hold it for a while, you can feel the evaporating moisture from the insulation on your palm. According to the technology, it is desirable to delay the evaporation of moisture from the foam concrete by covering it with a film and periodically wetting the surface, but this is rarely done by our clients. Sometimes small cracking appears in places on the surface of drying foam concrete. This is because we use high grades of cement of the finest grinding, pure, without various additives and plasticizers. Therefore, our monolithic foam concrete sets as quickly as possible so that construction work can be continued in a couple of days. After all, none of the clients likes to wait for the prescribed 28 days. And the payback for speed is partial small cracking of the surface. However, this does not in any way affect the effectiveness of insulation and rough floor screed on the ground. Please contact us with questions or requests for custom manufacturing of our patented equipment of the required capacity for the production of effective insulation, monolithic foam concrete using our technology.